Justin Trudeau needs momentum from his party. Otherwise, he loses majority of seats in their general election come next year. Imagine a prime minister unseated.
Justin Trudeau announced he is stepping down both as prime minister and as leader of the country's ruling Liberal Party.
I have always been driven by my love for Canada, by my desire to serve Canadians, and by what is in the best interests of Canadians. And Canadians deserve a real choice in the next election. And it has become obvious to me with the internal battles that I cannot be the one to carry the Liberal standard.
On the 31st of December 2024, during the crossover service in the wilderness with Apostle Peter John Gabriel, the man of God prophesied that Justin Trudeau needs momentum from his party, otherwise he will be unseated in 2025. These were his words.
Number 46 is for Canada. Canada. Justin Trudeau needs momentum from his party. Otherwise, he loses majority of seats in their general election come next year. Wow. Mind of God for Canada. Come next year. Once again, 46. Justin Trudeau needs momentum from his party. Otherwise, he loses majority of seats in their general election 2025 come next year. So we are praying for them in their election. Thank you. You know what that means? Imagine a president, a prime minister unseated. Okay? So just imagine that. So we are praying for them. Thank you.
In confirmation of God's word, on the 6th of January 2025, just 6 days after the prophecy was given, news broke out that Justin Trudeau, the Prime Minister of Canada, announced his resignation as a Prime Minister of Canada. Let us watch what happened.
We have breaking news now out of Canada to tell you about. Just last hour, Justin Trudeau announced he is stepping down both as prime minister and as leader of the country's ruling Liberal Party.
Now, Trudeau has been in power for nearly a decade, but recently he's become widely unpopular. He's even faced growing calls to resign, including from members within his own party. Earlier today, Trudeau told reporters he plans to step aside once the party chooses a new leader.
I have always been driven by my love for Canada, by my desire to serve Canadians, and by what is in the best interests of Canadians. And Canadians deserve a real choice in the next election. And it has become obvious to me with the internal battles that I cannot be the one to carry the Liberal standard into the next election.
NBC News correspondent Rahema Ellis is following this breaking news for us. Rahema, this is interesting. He talks about internal battles. He references a new leader. My best friend is Canadian. We were texting about this morning. She was less surprised. Why now, though? Why did he choose to do this now?
Well, maybe only he knows. And he told us that he had discussed it with his family. He feels he cannot be effective, according to what he said in his announcement this morning, that he's lost really the support of his party, the Liberal Party. According to recent polls, his voter support has slipped below 20% in terms of the polls. His deputy prime minister resigned abruptly just last month. Many members of his party are just saying he cannot lead them effectively, and therefore he made the decision, a tough decision for this 53-year-old, once very popular leader of Canada.
Extremely popular, globally popular.
Globally popular, and from a family of politicians who have been very popular, that it's time for him to go.
You know, Rahema, I think for people who aren't following the day-to-day politics of what's happening with our neighbors to the north, there was no big scandal here. What was it that led to his parties falling out with Trudeau, and what's the process for replacing him?
So much is going on. And let's talk about in terms of whether Americans are following him. One of the things Americans are following is that the president-elect Donald Trump has said that he would impose a 25% tariff on every product coming out of Canada and coming into the United States if Canada does not change its ways. We're talking about, according to international reporting, about $440 billion worth of trade that Canada exports from its country to our country. Well, that's a lot of stuff, including, we're talking about minerals, electrical equipment, wood, of course, but also apparel. A lot of things come from there. And so when this happened, and then Trump posted on social media that Canada might be someone that would want to take a look at things. He called Canada and Trudeau the governor of America's 51st state. So there's an issue of sovereignty here that I think that people in Canada are beginning to wonder about, if Donald Trump could have some sort of overreaching and far-reaching control or influence, if you will, on what's going on in Canada. What's the next step? He says he will stay in power until March 24th, until a new leader of the Liberal Party is selected. And then there's an election in October. A lot of things going on for people.
So much going on. And, you know, the Canadians would argue there is no issue of sovereignty. Like, we are our own country. We are not your 51st state. We don't have a governor. We have a prime minister. And so, I mean, I think the question now, I think, for us to watch is to see what happens with this new relationship, right? Like, with whom would Trump have sort of the best relationship going forward? So I think this is definitely a space to watch.
For everybody to keep an eye on.
Rahim Alice, thank you so much, Rahim. I appreciate it.
We give thanks to God for the prophecy confirmation, and we are praying for the nation of Canada in Jesus Christ's name. Testimony of Jesus, all about Jesus.
Social media handles are on Twitter at twitter.com/TOJChrist, on Facebook at facebook.com/Testimony of Jesus Official, on YouTube at youtube.com/Testimony of Jesus Channel, and on Instagram at instagram.com/Testimony of Jesus.